It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all you needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be here on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful singer that was born and raised in Miami, and now she's in Brooklyn, New York. She's a country, folk, Americana singer. She's a singer, songwriter, guitarist, and very multi-talented, has a lot of country influences. And of course, we'll have the song Home Is Where You Are, and she also had some other singles as well, too, and graduated from the Berklee College of Music. And she's true country, ladies and gentlemen, live from Brooklyn in her studio, where the country is in this time and age. Lauren Jaimes. Lauren, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello. Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on as well, too. So you're basically a country folk Americana singer. You grew up in Miami. Now you're in Brooklyn. You also got a song called Home Is Where You Are. And also you got a few songs in there, too, kind of like a little bit of an EP. You graduated from Berklee College of Music, and you were also featured on some true country. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started.
Yes, sure. I grew up in a very musical household. My dad was always playing guitar around the house growing up. Him and my mom were actually missionaries in South America before I was born, so they were playing music down there, going from church to church, put out a few records with Christian Spanish music. So I grew up around that kind of environment and have always been playing and writing ever since I can remember. But I didn't actually get on stage until I moved to New York City. I always had a little bit of a stage fright. And New York was the perfect place to come. Everyone was super supportive, a great artist community. And so now I'm playing shows and releasing singles and having a great time doing it.
Sounds fantastic. How'd you end up in Brooklyn?
Well, I grew up in Florida for most of my adult life, and so I wanted to come somewhere that was new and different, and I had actually never seen snow before. So I came up north. I had some friends up here, and it ended up being a great fit.
It sounds like it. And you say you grew up in a missionary family. And where did your family travel in terms of missionary besides the United States? And where did they go for their missionary work?
Yes, so they were actually both born in Paducah, Kentucky, a tiny little town in Kentucky. And they graduated high school, my mom and dad, and went right down to South America. So they were in quite a few different countries like El Salvador, Argentina, Chile. They were in Mexico for a little bit, Guatemala, so all over, really.
Wow. How did they like South America?
They loved it. And that's actually why we ended up in Miami when we came back to the States, because I was born. They were passing through Miami, Florida, to go back to Kentucky, and ended up loving Miami so much. It really reminded them of where they'd been, the last 15 years. And so they ended up staying there. And so that's why I'm a Miami born and raised.
It sounds like you had an amazing time in Miami. What was that one moment that precisely influenced you into what you're doing today?
I actually think so. I had always done music as a hobby. I grew up playing flute, piano, guitar, was always writing music in my spare time, sort of more as a hobby. And I think it was actually coming to New York and then meeting my fiance. He really pushed me into getting up on stage and pushed me towards sort of, you know, you need to be doing this. Like, you clearly love this. And I was always a little bit scared of it. So I just needed that little extra push, and now I'm out there.
Well, thank God you're not on a comedy circuit, I'll tell you that. So, and who are some of your favorite artists, singers, and musicians growing up?
Yeah, I absolutely love Casey Musgraves. She's a huge influence. Johnny Cash, John Denver, and then also some oldies that aren't in the country genre, like Roy Orbison, Don McLean, both great songwriters. So I definitely have a lot of different people that have influenced me over the years.
Wow, it's amazing. And what's your favorite Johnny Cash song?
Ooh, my favorite Johnny Cash song? Probably Ring of Fire. I know it's like one of the more popular ones, but I just love that song.
Mm-hmm. Very catchy indeed, too. And we'll talk about your latest music as well, too. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look on a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen at Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here a singer, songwriter, guitarist, multi-talented Lauren Jaimes of country, folk, and Americana genre here on the Mike Wagner Show. Growing up in Miami, and she's now in Brooklyn. And let's talk about your some of your releases as well too. And I guess according to what I've read, you've got Constellations that's coming out. So is that currently out right now, or is that what you have for the time being?
So it's not out yet. That's our next project that we're working on is going to be called Constellation. So we're thinking it's going to be a full-length album, and we were working on it right before, the quarantine came into effect. So right now I'm kind of just waiting to get back into the studio, which hopefully will be very soon.
And when do we expect the new release?
We should expect it within this year, I'm hoping. Yeah.
Okay. And also, you had some others as well, too. You got Cherry Pie, Worn Out Memory, Need You More, and also Real Bad Habit. Tell us about some of those songs.
Yeah. So I think Real Bad Habit and Cherry Pie are probably two of the more popular ones from the Here to Stay EP. And I do also really love the Worn Out Memory single. That's probably my favorite one. And funny story, there's actually a woman who I believe lives in France who I do not know, who runs a line dancing class, and she actually choreographed an entire line dance to the Worn Out Memory song, which was so cool to see. I had no idea. And so that's actually up on YouTube. You know, if you had paid me to write a line dancing song, I don't know that I would have, been able to do it, but she was able to choreograph a line dance to the song, which is super cool. So that's Worn Out Memory has that song, which is so cool. That's
really interesting. I'll have to get back into line dancing someday too. It's just like it's been decades since I did some line dancing. So
yeah.
I need some serious refreshment. So we also have Need You More and Real Bad Habit as a couple others. And you can tell us about some of those.
Yeah, so Need You More, that one is actually my dad's favorite song. It's kind of like a little bit slower, maybe more of a pop, kind of more mainstream, slower piano kind of tune. I love that song. And then, the Real Bad Habit has been a big favorite of a lot of other people. That's kind of a song about, not being with the right person and sort of taking your life back.
And of course, that's something to remember as well, too. And we're going to play Home Is Where You Are in just a minute. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. It's powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with singer, songwriter, multi-talented country folk Americana artist Lauren Jaimes here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we got a single out, which is called Home Is Where You Are. And we also talk about some releases and upcoming as well, too. And we'll talk about what's coming up in 2020 for her. But right now, here's Lauren Jaimes with Home Is Where You Are, right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
I don't have china plates or welcome mat. I don't own any art to hang for guests to marvel at. And bathroom towels are not for me, and pillows on sofa seats have never been a thing I thought I'd need. So what makes a house a home? Did you know that there's nothing in this world I'd rather do? Spend my time running around with you. So take me home where I belong. You know my home is where you are. California, Texas, Tennessee, as long as you are next to me. My home is where you are. I own one pair of dusty cowgirl boots. I have a Coa 6-string, but she don't compare to you. Mama always said to me, ain't no sense loving material things. You can't bring them to heaven when you leave. So what makes a house a home? Did you know that there's nothing in this world I'd rather do? And spend my time running around with you. So take me home where I belong. You know my home is where you are. California, Texas, Tennessee, as long as you are next to me. My home is where you are. So take me home where I belong. You know my home is where you are. Talladega, Tampa, Telluride, as long as you are by my side. My home is where you are. My home is where you are.
Home Is Where You Are. Lauren Jaimes here on the Mike Wagner Show. Very, very catchy tune. And tell us more about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Thank you. Yeah, so I had actually started with that song with the melody, and I wanted to write something that was really fun and upbeat, a real feel-good song, mostly because the 2018 EP was a lot of more introspective, thoughtful, kind of reflective songs. So I wanted to do something that was sort of the opposite of that. And I had just gotten engaged, so this song is really just about not needing material things. When you find the right person, you just want to be where they are, and that is where home is. It's not, a physical structure. It's when you're with that person. And
congratulations, by the way, on the engagement.
Thank you. And
you also got added on the VEVO's True Country playlist. And tell us more about that and what's it like being on a True Country list?
Yes, that was such an honor. I had no idea. My distributor had contacted me and let me know that I got onto that playlist, which was so cool. It was with a lot of other amazing artists like Ashley McBride and Willie Nelson. I think Toby Keith was on there as well. So that was a huge honor to be included on that list. And then shortly after that, I actually was able to get the video on CMT.com for a couple of weeks, which was a huge honor. They're, as you know, the authority on country music. So that felt really validating and really good to be able to get that song on there as well.
That is amazing. And also, too, if you were to share the stage with one artist, who would it be?
Oh, man, that's so hard. I think it would have to be Casey Musgraves.
Mm-hmm. And how so?
I just love her. I just think she is such a smart, witty writer. She's not afraid to ever be herself. She goes outside of the box, and it's always been wildly successful for her to just follow her heart and do her own thing. And I think it would be so cool to sing a duet with her on stage someday.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, we're looking forward as well, too. We hear a country folk Americana singer, Lauren Jaimes, here on the Mike Wagner Show in just a few minutes here. What are your upcoming plans for 2020, and what can we expect from you and beyond?
Yes, so as soon as we are allowed out again, I plan on going right into the studio and starting to record those songs for the upcoming EP or album Constellations. And then we're also working on a couple of new music videos, so you should be able to expect some more visuals with the music soon as well.
And we're looking forward as well, too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, in my career, probably my mom and my dad, I'd have to say.
Mm-hmm. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
At this point, I would say even if you're scared, if you have a dream and you want to go out there and do it, just follow that little voice that's telling you to go do it, no matter what your head is telling you. Your head will want you to be afraid, but if your heart wants it, you should absolutely go after it.
And that's so true today as well, too. Once again, singer-songwriter Lauren Jaimes here on the Mike Wagner Show. Lauren, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Look forward to having you again soon. And just, a couple more things. What's your upcoming projects? What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
Yes, so I am on all of the platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, you name it. My website is laurenjamesmusic.com, and that name James is spelled Jaimes. It's a combination of James and Jamie, my parents' names. And so that's also my Instagram and Facebook handles as well. If you want to stay up to date, it's Lauren Jaimes Music.
Fantastic. Lauren, again, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep this up to date. Looking forward to having you on in 2020 and beyond, and you've been great.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.